Okay, so everybody, hi. This is me and my family.
Hey.
And what we want to talk to you today about is New Orleans Plantation Country. So we did a trip there in June 2018, and we got a chance then to do a bunch of stuff while we were visiting, and I think we had a great time.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
Okay, just making sure. And so what I wanted to do today is share with you guys quickly some of the things that we found there that we thought might be a lot of fun for you. We wanted to, first of all, learn about the history of the area. Mm-hmm. We also wanted to explore the wild side of plantation country. And of course, because I'm with these people, we wanted to eat. So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about plantation country and the history there. We went to a number of plantations there. I know one of my favorites was we went to Laura, which was a Creole plantation. You guys, what would you say were your favorite plantations?
I'd say my favorite plantation from memory is Oak Alley.
Oak Alley. And what did you like about Oak Alley Plantation?
What I liked about Oak Alley is how interactive and engaging it was. Instead of just reading about it by text, you'd be able to walk into the plantation itself, go visit slave quarters and be able to see inside the houses.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a sign next to it explaining what would it be like inside the house.
Right.
So it'd be a lot easier to imagine what was going on instead of just reading about it and trying to make a giant scene in your head.
Right.
You could imagine like this goes here and that goes there.
Right. You got a better sense of what it was like at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Kim?
I also like the Oak Alley Plantation.
Okay.
And I think because I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
And like seeing it, as Ethan said, in person and seeing where things were.
Yeah.
I got to really understand it.
Right.
And also how there was a geological dig.
Yeah.
Seeing what the slaves put in, what the slave owners put in, and how they're putting it in their museums now.
Right. So they were finding artifacts from a while back.
Yeah.
And those things will now be on display, so we'll learn even more about the history.
Yep.
What about you, Ish? Which plantation did you find
I really like
interesting?
Destrehan.
Destrehan.
Yeah.
And what did you like about it?
Because in the past you were taught that most of the slaves were just field workers.
Right.
But when we took the tour, you understood that they had particular trades.
Yeah.
Like basically, they were good with their hands also in building the buildings and the infrastructure. So my thing from it is that they weren't all field workers, that they had this skill and they had a trade that they didn't portray when they show it on TV and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I remember that was true too at Laura, because I remember them saying that some of the Africans that they brought in, they actually brought in from particular African countries, because those particular countries were known as being particularly great at building or at creating architecture or what have you.
Like
so they were actually, or agriculture as well, but agriculture we tend to hear about a lot, whereas, as Dad was saying, a lot of the stuff pertaining to how they built the houses and the fact that those houses are still standing today speaks to their intellect as well as to the physical stuff that they were doing. So that was really cool. So overall, the plantations were really interesting, and we did learn a lot about the history. But then we went and did some wild experiences. So in New Orleans Plantation Country, a lot of it was around alligators, which I have feelings about. We did 2 alligator experiences. So one was on an airboat and one was by kayak. Gentlemen, what was your preference?
To start off, I think my favorite experience was the airboat because it was more leisurely and slower pace than the kayak, because in the kayak you have to be simultaneously focused on paddling and looking out for alligators.
Yeah, no kidding, looking out for alligators. Yeah.
But on the boat you can more focus on the alligators, and I think the tour guides did a really good job at explaining what the alligator looked like and how it was like, what it was like, what it did, what it hunted, etc.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty good. What about you, Kim?
I like the kayak. I guess
I'm
the more adventurous one.
You think?
And I liked it because you got your exercise in while also seeing the alligators right beside you.
Yeah. So you liked being out in the kayak, inches from the alligators in the water. That's great. What about you, Ish?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I have to agree with Cameron.
Oh, boy.
I like the kayaking too, because basically, again on the tour, you learn that the back rivers were used by more the native Indians to portage and go where they wanted to be, to stay away from the Europeans and the Europeans,
the plantation owners and what have you.
Basically,
over time.
And most of all, and they taught us about the trees and the different kind of foods and medicines that they used.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty educational.
Yeah. I still am going with airboat because I liked being as far from the alligators as possible while also being able to see the alligators. And I liked not thinking that the alligators were going to be able to jump up and eat me. So, sorry, I'm going with airboat. So we're split on that one.
Okay. I do like the kayak more.
Yeah.
But there were some fun parts too on the airboat ride.
Okay.
You got to feed the alligators by throwing some meat in the water.
Yeah.
And you got to hold an alligator skull head.
Yeah.
And a baby alligator, right?
Yeah, we did. We did.
And then the baby alligator peed on the lady.
Yes. Yes, we did. The baby alligator did pee on somebody, but you take your chances. Anyway, the third reason that we went to New Orleans Plantation Country was for the food. And we ate a lot of great food while we were down there. It's actually one of my favorite things about Louisiana, but let's face it, I think it's one of our favorite things about travel, period, is that we like to eat lots of good food. So do you guys have favorite things that you ate while we were in Plantation Country?
My favorite thing I ate was the beignet at O'Galley Plantation.
Right.
I really enjoyed that because it's kind of like a donuts, but it's more of a breakfast food.
I think it's an anytime food. I was actually surprised to see beignets for breakfast, but okay.
And I love the texture of the bread, and I love just the flavor and texture were just really.
And maybe the powdered sugar that was poured on top of it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit of the
just
sugar.
A little.
What about you, Kim?
I also liked at the O'Galley Plantation the pain powder.
Okay.
I liked it because it was a new thing for me. I never really had it before.
Yeah.
And eating it was delicious as usual.
And it came with that syrup, right?
Yeah, a special syrup. That was really good.
Right. And what about you, Ish?
I love the jambalaya.
Okay.
Number one. And the bread pudding.
You always love the No matter where we go, it's all about bread pudding. I don't know if I can pick a favorite. I love red beans and rice, so we had that. I love that. We had tamales down at the German Coast Market. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That was good. And we ate some pork rinds. Our great tourism transportation host there bought some pork rinds and we got to share in that. So, but overall, I think we ate well. That was the main thing. Yeah. And we also had some great dinners where we were like sitting down at tables, not just the stuff that we were like eating on the go. And we had those amazing ice cream, ice cones. What they're called, snowballs.
Oh,
Do you remember that? And it was so hot that day, and we got the snowballs. So anyway, as you can see, we get a little excited around food. All of that to say, you guys, I think it's fair to say we had a great time in New Orleans Plantation Country. Where would you recommend it for other families? What do you think?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love other people who went there and saw it for themselves.
Yeah, I think it's important that they get there and check it out for themselves. And then you can let us know what you thought about it. If you guys have any questions about New Orleans Plantation Country, or you want to ask us any questions about our experience there, don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us, Heather at globetrottingmama.com, or you can find us online on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and we'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching, and reach out whenever you like. Bye.
Yeah, we did it. Let's go.